You're tuned to Radio Big. I'm DJ Atomika, the eyes and ears of SSX for spectators and competitors alike. Broadcasting live from my nifty little sound booth with access to over 262 mountain cams.
It's Mlshd.
Okay, people, did anyone catch what was going down on Peak 1's Snow Jam race event today? It was out of control nasty. Riders were cutting each other off, punching, battling, all the while being 2 steps away from breaking the sound barrier. Quality entertainment. Watching the race on Peak 2's Intimidator, I learned some valuable insight regarding the SSS psyche. Don't just win, destroy. Don't just outride your opponent, smack him silly up the side of the head. Good stuff to know for all you riders. I watched something interesting on Peak 2's Intimidator race event today. I guess you'd describe it as blatant nastiness. I'm serious. Riders hitting riders, people smashing into each other, dogs and cats living together. Total chaos. Okay, people, there was quite the race over on Peak 3's Gravitude earlier today. Edge of your seat excitement, some truly epic riding, and a surprising amount of fisticuffs. Well, I'm not surprised there was scrapping. I'm surprised by Peak 3 these guys have the energy to throw a punch. You know, you can tell things amongst the SSX riders is at a Peak 3 state of mind. A lot of eyewitness reports coming in from Gravitude of competitors getting pretty physical with each other. I just hope they remember, fun is fun until someone scratches a board. The race event that happened on Peak 3's Gravitude, now that was riding, baby. With the skills being shown there, you know you're watching the best of the best. The punching and high-speed head slapping. Who knew speed could lead us to so much pain? Okay, y'all, things were moving into the full contact zone up on Peak 1 today. It was a free-for-all combat out on Snow Jam. Not just a race, this was a boxing match. But hey, I guess what happens on the mountain stays on the mountain. Well, we hope. Okay, if you ever had hopes of breaking into the SSX circuit, check out what happened during the Snow Jam race event today. How bad did these guys want gold? Bad enough to fight for it? If you want to play at this level, get a mouth guard. That's my advice. Okay, Metro City Breakdown should be renamed Metro City Smashdown after what went on out there today. Things were getting a little personal as competitors battled it out literally for a podium visit. Apparently these kids play for keeps. Well, from what I saw in my mountain camps today, anyone who was involved in the Metro City Breakdown race is probably back at their hotel nursing some pretty serious bruises. It was an all-out free-for-all fight today. Nasty, but cool. All the same. Although no one was disqualified, event officials were close to booting a few riders from competition today. Metro City Breakdown was quite the scene as riders resorted to punches and body checks to get their way. Can't we all just get along? No? Yeah, all right. The name Ruthless Ridge was fitting for what went on during a Peak 2 race event today. Competitors were using everything, including their fists, to score a win. The riding was spectacular, and so were the wipeouts. And there were a lot of wipeouts. It was certainly ruthless today out on Peak 2's Ruthless Ridge. A race event, if you can call it that, was what was supposed to happen. Instead, it was a board-cruising grudge match against some of the most talented riders around. Pretty cool. There was a race event up on Peak 2 today, Ruthless Ridge to be exact. Powder Pete checked it out, and in his words, it was total carnage out there. I just hope the SSX riders remember the big mountain deal. No one goes home mad. Hurt maybe, you know, but not mad. This ain't golf, you know what I'm saying? There's some head-slapping, nose-popping, right hook happening action going up on Peak 2's Intimidator earlier today. I guess there's nothing wrong with a little good-natured scrapping during a race, unless, of course, you happen to be in the race. Play nice, people. A little shout-out to those living large and getting the exec service into the backcountry run happiness. I'm talking heli riding, of course. That once-in-a-lifetime experience every boarder dreams about. These luckier-than-lucky riders are ripping on their session and making their way to Green Bay Station. Well, hopefully, I seem to recall an avalanche warning for that run. Checking Peak 1's backcountry mountain cam, I got a few of the accelerated cool making their way through the deep stuff of happiness during this kind of backcountry ride. One with an avalanche warning, you gotta wonder where their brains are gonna be, ready to rock on or shaking like a baby. Knowing how the SSX boys and girls play, it's gonna be full-blown. For the SSX fans down at Green Bay Station, I was watching some event riders carving their way down to you right now from Peak 1's happiness. Trust me, they won't be hard to miss, with the goofy grins and powder-caked faces. Let me know who makes it in one piece, would you? Apparently someone accidentally nailed one of our mountain cams. Or it could have been that avalanche the ski patrol were talking about. Maybe. Just got word some competitors were dropped off into the backcountry up on Peak 2 on Ruthless, I believe. You know, that's got a nice ring to it. Dropped off into the backcountry. Ah, the life of an SSX pro. Anywho, they'll be joining the rest of you mere mortals down at the mid-station any sec now. Keep your eyes peeled to where they're off to next. If you're down at Peak 2's red mid-station right now and you're wondering where the SSX riders are, just look up. Currently, they're enjoying that full stoke powder feeling on Ruthless, courtesy of the SSX Osprey delivery service. Kind of makes you wish you'd followed through on that dream of being a pro, doesn't it? Just when you think being a snowboard pro couldn't get any better, it does. Just heard an Osprey dropped off some riders into Peak 2's Ruthless, and from what I've seen with the mountain cams, it's in a sweet state of powder perfection. They'll be bombing their way down into red mid-station soon enough, where mass chaos will ensue, I'm sure. Coolio. Get this, people. Despite the storms, the avalanches, and, everything else that makes Peak 3 a force to be reckoned with, apparently some SSX3 competitors are out on the throne living it up backcountry style. With luck, they'll be arriving at the Black Peak Lodge soon to tell you exactly how good it was. Hey, for any of those hanging around Peak 3, once there's a break in the storm, check out what's going on up on the throne. Seems a few of the SSX guys and gals are out there ripping it up the only way they can. Completely. No events, no crowds, just snow, baby. The way it should be. Ever wanted to know how the other half lives? Well, here it is. Get an Osprey, pack it with your pals, have it drop you off on Peak 3's most insane backcountry, the Throne, and then carve it up as much as you want. That's how the SSX crew does it, and believe me, they do it well. Here's some info for those of you new to Big Mountain. As the SSX circuit gets underway, the place is once again filling up with sponsors, fans, media, and competitors. Be advised, tourists, this means nothing is open any earlier around here. That's just not how we work. Here's a bit of past mountain trivia for those listening. Big Mountain was once the host of the World Suitcase Sliding Championships, Winter Edition, 3 years running. Prestigious, difficult, heroic. I love this place. And now for some mountain happenings. Tourists are urged to check out the Museum of Natural Ski Bumming History. Patrons are reminded that hours of operation are subject to change depending on heavy snowfall and or, certain house parties. There's even a section on winter DJs. And I got a little past mountain info for you here. Prior to the SSX circuit, the biggest thing to hit town was the infamous Electric Bohemian Snowboard Festival. Sponsored by Mlshd Eyewear, the festival boasted only one event, the Three-Peak Downhill of Doom. The glory days of mountain life, eh? Here's some background on our alpine home. Big Mountain has always boasted little or no crime. Studies have shown residents are too busy dealing with cougars, avalanches, blizzards, and are generally too tired from riding 3 peaks and shoveling their driveway every morning. It is a good life up here, isn't it? Time for a mountain flashback. 10 years ago, this weekend, we began the annual ski burn. Once again, the tradition continues. The burn creates good vibe mojo, so keep in mind, it's a ski burn, not a skier burn. It brings home legendary weather and sweet snow, not legal troubles. Some history for those of you new to town. Often referred to as a one-of-a-kind and a natural phenomenon, our mountain averages 362 days of powder a year. The other 3 days are broken down to 1 day of rain, 1 day of hail, and 1 day without any fresh snow at all. A day without fresh snow. Wow, we lose about half our residents on that day. Here's a little Radio Big clarification for some of you. SSX competitors will be traveling to their events by Osprey or gondola this year. Everyday wannabes are still gonna have to wait in the lift line, just like always. This mountain update just in. Although conditions on Peak 1 are ranging from good to excellent, last night's snowfall has left the snowpack, especially in the out-of-bounds areas, unstable. Riders are urged to be aware and not to venture out alone. Time now for a mountain update. Peak 1 reports coming in state snowpack conditions are rated excellent due to last night's heavy snowfall. Ski Patrol wants everyone to know the avalanche warning has moved to high. All right, here's some good news for all those heading out riding. Although the snowpack for Peak 1's backcountry is being reported as unstable, conditions on marked runs are listed as Excellent! Here's the latest info on mountain conditions. Heavy snowfalls last night on the three peaks have left conditions rated as excelente. Small crowds, clear skies, fresh powder. It is all happening up in the high alpine. Grab your board and get to it. Just in, the latest mountain update. Last night's stormy conditions are done, and clear skies with mild winds are returning to Peak 3. Riders are encouraged to use caution in the backcountry with all that extra snow. Riders are also encouraged to have a good time in the backcountry with all that extra snow. Here's what's happening on our mountain today. All three peaks are looking in excellent shape after last night's storm battered them senseless. As the town digs itself out once again, riders are enjoying clear skies, mild temperatures, and face shots aplenty. This place just keeps getting better and better. Here's the latest on some mountain conditions. Snow? Tons. Wind? None. Sun? Crowds? Not very many. Me? Working. Not for long. See you soon. Time now for a mountain update. The backcountry is in wicked condition right now, folks. Tons of snow over the last few nights have left endless miles of untracked goodness up there. Now, I know everyone's going to be charging up there full swing. Just do us all a favor. Watch your step, people. Here's the latest in mountain info. Conditions on all three peaks are sounding pretty fine from what I'm hearing. Ski Patrol have got things running smoothly and the snow is fresh. Even though there are those of us who take this sort of thing for granted, get out there and enjoy it. Go on. Drop what you're doing. Go on. Go. Now. Get up. Good. Some terrain news for those heading out riding. The world's nastiest ski patrol just called in to say that things are looking great up on Peak 3. Right before her, Powder Pete called to say Peak 2 is looking pretty awesome from his cockpit. And, as usual, Rob and Bob called down from Peak 1. It's perfect. What more do you need? This mountain update just in. Last night's heavy snowfall caused some pretty massive slides up around Peak 1. The beauty of an avalanche? The go-ahead to rock on through the powder. If you don't, I will. Welcome back to Radio Big. Once again, this is Radio Big. We're back with EA Radio Big. You're listening to Radio Big. And you're back with Radio Big. You're tuned to Radio Big. This is Radio Big. High above it all, you're with Radio Big. You're listening to EA Radio Big. You're back with Radio Big. Radio Big back again. Welcome back to Radio Big. Once again, this is Radio Big. We're back with EA Radio Big. Stay tuned for all the latest news here on Radio Big. Stick around and catch the latest here on Radio Big. Make sure you stay with Radio Big for all your news. Check back for more here on Radio Big. Stay tuned with Radio Big for all your updates. Stay tuned right here to Radio Big. For all your mountain info, stay with Radio Big. We got everything you need right here on Radio Big. For all your alpine listening, stay with Radio Big. Stay tuned with Radio Big for everything you need to know on and off the mountain. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. Although new to SSX, Allegra Sauvages has already made her name known throughout the events as a rider to be reckoned with. Stay tuned as we follow her through the circuit. The hype with our latest competitor spotlight has media and fans alike buzzing about the new and improved Kaori Nishidaki. Always a competitor of obvious talent and drive, seems her riding this time around has progressed considerably in strength and in confidence. The competitor spotlight continues with returning rider Kaori Nishidaki, once described as having the best laugh on the circuit. Kaori once again brings her freshness, boundless energy, and talent into the SSX mix. Mac Fraser is in our competitor spotlight. Seems Mac's skills off the mountain are getting him some well-deserved hype. Fans of his DJ work are lining up well in advance as he plays back-to-back shows tonight at the Day Shack. You know I'll be there. The competitor spotlight continues featuring Mac Fraser. A strong showing on last year's circuit has SSX fans wondering what the uber-talented gibber will be bringing to the slopes this time around. No doubt Mac has his sights set on the gold. Let's see if he can pull it off. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we got Mac Fraser back again doing his thing. Interestingly enough, though, I caught Mac skating up a storm backstage at the Day Shack last night. The kid has some killer moves going on, baby. Fellow competitors, beware. Time now for our competitor spotlight on Moby Jones. Originally from Brixton, England, Mr. Jones has been described by media and fellow riders alike as a riding machine. His past victories on the circuit have once again set him up as a sure bet for medal contention. Now for some competitor spotlight info. Even with this year's batch of competitors raising the bar considerably, industry experts are still expecting great things from the newcomer, Allegra Sauvages. Here's the competitor spotlight on Vigo Rolig. Blasting onto the North American scene, fresh from living it up across Europe, Vigo's already making a name for himself in the SSX circuit. On and off the mountain, his antics are drawing attention. Check him out. This competitor spotlight is on Zoe Payne. Known for her standout style and complete individualism, Zoe is back to make her mark in the SSX circuit. A wild and unpredictable ride. Someone always gets hurt when she's around. You notice that? Do yourself a favor, check her out. What's happening with our SSX competitors? It looks as though Zoe Payne is back to continue her long-time winning streak. Although competition is fierce on this year's circuit, many are pegging Zoe as a strong contender. A strong showing in the past has SSX fans looking forward to Zoe's riding with huge anticipation. Never one to disappoint. Zoe is making no small deal out of her plans to dominate this year's circuit. Stay tuned to see what happens. All right, y'all, here's the latest with our competitor spotlight. The rebellious and determined Allegra Sauvages is getting some recognition as a frequent medalist and record breaker. Keep up on our latest developments here at Radio Big. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight with Allegra Sauvages. Allegra, you know, she doesn't really even need to be snowboarding to be successful. You know, she pretty much has millions of drooling idiot guys around her all the time. There's no shortage of those here, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen her yet, get on it, baby. Here's the competitor spotlight on Allegra Sauvages. Blasting onto the scene abruptly, she continues to prove critics wrong. Initially referred to as just another pretty face, Allegra is known for dominating every competition she enters. Here's the latest in our competitor spotlight. Mac Fraser's thrown down some big spins on and off the mountain. I managed to sneak out, catch one of his sets last night at the Day Shack. I'm telling you, man, if this guy can ride like he DJs, he's got this circuit wrapped up, boy. Catch his riding, his music, or both. Time for the competitor spotlight on Mac Fraser. After a particularly stressful event, it seems Mac was letting off a little steam by throwing down some serious rail action. No surprise there, except for the fact that it was all over town. There wasn't a staircase or deck that got away untouched. That's the way it should be when you live in the mountains. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. Mac Fraser's back on the SSS circuit. You know what I'm saying? And from one of my many inside sources, he's staying alone this time at the Big Mountain Hotel. Word is, Fraser's such an unbelievable slob that his usual circuit roommate, Moby, has had enough. Some people's kids, huh? Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we have riding superstar Moby Jones. Seems Moby's doing a little cross-training while in our town. Moby checked out JB's night bike ride yesterday and blew minds with his BMX skills. Unreal. Most people can't ride one of those things on pavement. This guy does it on ice. It's crazy. The competitor spotlight continues with the dreadlocked funkifier Moby Jones. I'm just thinking out loud here, so, you know, don't quote me on this, but does anyone else think there's something going on between Moby and Zoe? You know, it would make sense. You know, they do share the same blind hairdresser. He's the only guy I know who, isn't intimidated by her. And, well, I'm just thinking out loud. Moby Jones is in our competitor spotlight. Moby uses everything in his arsenal to psych out his competition, along with his top-notch skills and a level of fitness few can achieve. There's the lid. Have you seen this guy's mop? It looks like rabid snakes exploding out from under his helmet. I mean, you know, I would find that a major distraction. Is that legal? Let's check in with our latest competitor spotlight. Canadian powerhouse Elise Riggs is back with the SSX circuit. Seems she's already on the way to making sure the veterans and newcomers alike are fully aware of her riding talents. This competitor spotlight is on Zoe Payne. I feel confident in saying Zoe will be kicking butt and taking names all over the Three Peaks today. Watching her ride the other day, I gotta tell you, there was something new going on there. Something fresh, something focused, baby. Expect big things from Miss Payne. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we find Zoe Payne. Zoe once told me she bleeds adrenaline, and anyone who's seen her ride would definitely agree. But here's something very few people know. Zoe has an incredible singing voice. She really does. She's the real deal. I'm rooting for you, Zoe. Call me, baby. Here's the competitor spotlight on my girl, Allegra Sauvages. This girl is kicking rider butt like it's on sale right now. Watching her ride is a complete treat, and the fans are eating it up, man. Do yourself a favor, check her out. You will not be disappointed. Now for some competitor spotlight info. Allegra Sauvagesse manages to rise above it all and just keeps turning heads, man. Racking up some impressive standings throughout the circuit. Nothing or no one seems to be getting in her way. Keep your eyes on this one. She's on fire. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. Managing to catch a few by surprise, Allegra Sauvagesse has rocketed to the top of the circuit. Whatever she wants, she gets. Things are heating up on the slopes, and Allegra is becoming a focus of both the media and her fellow competitors. You better keep your eyes on her. This competitor spotlight is on my girl, Elise Riggs. Things are going well for Elise this year as she returns to the circuit with a vengeance. Her riding is coming together in a big way as she adds even more wins to an already impressive record. Check this girl out. She is hot. You just have to take my word for it. What's happening with our competitors? It looks as though Elise Riggs has no intention of relinquishing her hard-fought success in the world of SSX. Once again, Elise has set her sights on nothing less than total alpine domination. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we got Mac Fraser. Mac's got his brain in the right mode these days as he continues amassing some impressive wins. Watching him this morning warming up in the park, he was looking loose, he was looking smooth. Keep your eyes on him, you might miss him. Time for the competitor spotlight on Moby Jones. It's funny, when I think of, merry old England, snowboard superstars, not the first thing that comes to mind. Paleness caused by endless rain and really good comedy and bad teeth's kind of what I think of. But hey, Moby's kicking rider butt in everything he enters. Check out the circuit and see for yourself. Moby Jones is the focus of our competitor spotlight. It seems Moby's been hitting the weights because he's pulling some serious muscle busting up there, man. Showing up for this year's circuit, it's clear Moby's got his mind tuned to winning. He's ripping it up. Watch out. Let's check in with the latest competitor spotlight. SSX veteran and all-around nice guy, Moby Jones, is doing his winning thing up here at Big Mountain. Although the competition is fierce, Moby is making regular trips to the podium, and I think he's having a pretty good time to boot. Stay with us as we continue our coverage. The competitor spotlight highlights new to the circuit, Nate Logan. I remember Nate from way back. First time I saw him take gold in a Colorado comp, I knew, man, this dude is going somewhere. With never-ending determination, stellar focus, it seems like nothing's out of Nate's reach. Yeah, definitely worth watching. Now for some competitor spotlight info. Nate Logan has smashed onto the riding scene with his wicked boarding and oak tree size. The big dude from Colorado is swooping up wins left, right, and center these days. If you're watching the circuit, you're gonna see him. This competitor spotlight is on Elise Riggs. Known for her impressive strength and stamina, this boarding Amazon is pegged by many as a strong favorite this time around for SSX medal contentions. Our competitor spotlight continues with Griff Simmons. There's not much this 12-year-old legend in the making can't handle. Shrugging off circuit jitters, he's giving the rest of our competitors a full-blown ride for their money. Keep an eye on this one. Now for some competitor spotlight info. What's fueled by sugar, can't sit still for longer than a nanosecond, and continuously seems to be getting his tongue stuck to the lift towers? That would be SSX newcomer and fan favorite Griff Simmons. Watch out for this guy, boy. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we've got 12-year-old riding sensation, Griff Simmons. This kid continues to defy logic, blow minds, and have more fun than what's actually legally allowed here on the mountain. Here's hoping his never-ending enthusiasm for the sport continues to be so contagious. Our competitor spotlight shifts gears now and focuses in on returning Japanese star Kaori Nishidaki. Looking as stylish as ever, Kaori seems to always have a consistent spot on the SSX podium. Watch out for this girl. The SSX competitor spotlight continues with Brit sensation Moby Jones. This dreadlocked master of the slopes is back to show his stuff on this year's SSX circuit. Although the level of competition is at an all-time high, Moby shows no signs of letting his fans down. Our competitor spotlight targets the skillful and talented Moby Jones. To the fans, he's a favorite. To his fellow competitors, a supportive ally or a strong enemy. His look of dreadlocked funk always makes this guy a treat to watch. Our competitor spotlight moves on to highlight Nate Logan. Originally from Colorado, Nate fought his way up the ranks to establish himself firmly in the circuit. I think it's safe to say we can expect big things from Nate. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. Although new to SSX, Nate Logan has already made his name known throughout as a rider to be reckoned with. Stay tuned as we follow him through the circuit. This competitor spotlight is on Nate Logan. Known for his impressive strength and determination, this Colorado native is pegged by many as a strong favorite in the SSX medal contentions. Time now for our competitor spotlight on Simon Stark. Stunts like being accidentally electrocuted while jumping his bike over power lines sum up Simon fairly accurately. His reputation as a wild man is accurate as his status as one of the circuit's fiercest competitors. Watch this guy closely. Here's the competitor spotlight on Simon Stark. No one really knows if all his flash is a carefully planned performance or a natural wildness threatening to spill over. Media and fans alike will be watching closely to see how he does this time around on the SSX circuit. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we have returning wildman Simon Stark. This year his riding seems to be faster, it's a lot looser, his airs, they're not just astonishing, they're frightening, baby. You gotta ask yourself, is this the time Simon goes too far? Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. Viggo Rolig has already made his name known throughout the events as a rider to watch closely. Stay tuned as we follow this guy through the circuit. Now for some competitor spotlight info. Industry experts are expecting great things from newcomer Viggo Rolig. After winning competition after competition all throughout Europe, Viggo has arrived with SSX Gold firmly in sight. The competitor spotlight continues with Allegra Sauvagesse. Quite a few callers ringing me up here at Radio Big asking all about SSX's latest Fireball. Quite a few of them happen to be lovesick males, coincidentally. Guys, get a life. Find a different hobby. Quit bugging me. Now for our competitor spotlight. To the delight of many, the statuesque bombshell known as Elise Riggs is back, baby. Yeah! If there was ever an icon for a sport, it is Elise. Talented, savvy, she possesses frightening drive. If you have anything for SSX women, it better be respect. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. One thing that comes to mind when watching SSX veteran Elise, well, at least my mind, killer hotness, maybe? I guarantee you, though, you won't catch me saying that in front of her. Elise has a rep for not suffering fools gladly, if you know what I'm saying. Check her out, you'll see what I mean. Here's the competitor spotlight on Elise Riggs. This year's circuit sees Elise Riggs returning in fine form. Whatever it is they feed those girls up there in the Great White North, it definitely seems to be getting the job done. Every inch the champion. Watch for Elise to be collecting golds like they're going out of style. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we have newcomer Griff Simmons. I don't know, maybe it's his age, maybe it's, his sugar-saturated brain that just doesn't register it, but this kid shows no fear. This guy's a favorite with the SSX fan. Griff puts on a show every time he rides. Definitely check this kid out. The competitor spotlight moves on to highlight Griff Simmons. I was lucky enough to catch Griff practicing up on Peak 2. It's like this guy's got a nuclear reactor inside him or something. He's pumping out endless supplies of energy, man. Every second of every run, he is in total vibration mode. It is awesome. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. New to the circuit this year, 12-year-old Griff Simmons. The word is, he can ride circles around a few of his fellow competitors, and actually, from what I hear, he already has. Apparently, a couple of the older, slightly crankier riders find Griff's non-stop jib a little bit tiring. Lighten up, Simon. What's up, buddy? Time now for our competitor spotlight. I recently had the pleasure of meeting returning pro Kaori Nishidaki. Since I don't, speak a lot of Japanese, I didn't really actually catch a lot of what she was saying, but, there's a lot of laughing, smiling, and some really bad music in the background. Anyway, this girl can ride, man. Do yourself a favor, check this girl out. This competitor spotlight is on Kaori Nishidaki. If you don't know who Kaori is, pull your head out of the snowbank, okay? Stylish from her boots all the way up to her always funky hair, Kaori has become the ultimate celebrity in Japan. It's not hard to figure out why. Check out her riding, and you'll see what I mean. Our competitor spotlight turns now to Japanese riding sensation Kaori Nishidaki. There's always something I've wanted to ask Kaori myself. What exactly does she carry in those little backpacks she's always wearing? Anyways, she's back. She's looking fine. Do your best and check her out. Let's check in with our competitor spotlight. Nate Logan's new to the circuit, and he's got some killer talent. He brings some mountain size. How good is it gonna get when you have someone with Nate's muscle meeting the twisted mind of someone like Simon, you know what I'm saying? Today in Alpine Paradise, tomorrow a charred wasteland. Cool. Nate Logan is the focus of our competitor spotlight. I've met Nate. A couple times now. He's pretty big. He's friendly, surprisingly intelligent, and it has that, that just happy to be here vibe going on. But, start talking about the circuit, that casual vibe turns into something a little more hard-edged. Pay attention to this kid. Take my advice. Colorado native Nate Logan. There was a time when Nate only had one board. He managed to maintain the thing through 2 seasons of competition. And then when the sponsors came a-calling, he had that board mounted in his living room, right above his collection of medals. Keep your eye on him. What's happening with our SSX competitors, you ask? Well, apparently, an impromptu urban rail session with Mac Fraser and Simon Stark came to an abrupt end last night. Simon and a taxi ended up butting heads. The cab was sent to the shop, and, Simon will be riding tomorrow. Yeah, there's someone I want to race against. Time now for our competitor spotlight on returning rider Simon Stark. 2 nights ago, I caught Simon dancing up a storm at the Day Shack. Best way to describe it, tornado-like. Hey man, when that guy grooves to a tune, nothing's breaking his concentration. I heard he rides that way too, alright? Watch out. Now for some competitor spotlight info. Each one of Simon's tattoos, and there are some that rarely see the light of day here, okay? They're all designed and drawn by Simon first. Each one has layers of history and personal meaning, and if you happen to get close enough, ask him what each one means. Go ahead. No, really, I dare you. I double dog dare you. This competitor spotlight is on Viggo Rolig. This up-and-coming superstar is making a name for himself quickly throughout the circuit. According to a few waitress friends of mine, he's also making a name with our town's female population, breaking records and breaking hearts. When I grow up, I want to be just like Viggo. The competitor spotlight turns to focus on Viggo Rolig. The media have been using such words as mischievous, hyped, boisterous to describe both his riding and his personality. I went a little bit deeper and asked one of his fellow competitors, and what did Zoe have to say? 20 pounds of cool in a 5-pound bucket. Yeah. Let's check the competitor spotlight on Viggo Rolig. He actually dropped by last night on his way to, a party that most of us can only dream of going to. Friendly, outgoing, I'd even say, a little slightly oblivious to it all. The guy is constantly on, though. He told me how happy he is to be here on the SSX circuit and how much he enjoys hanging out with his fellow riders. Nice guy. Check out his riding. Our competitor spotlight now turns to Zoe Payne. I think I speak for the whole station here when I say we love Zoe. We love everything about her, baby. Riding, clothes, attitude. Zoe has got it on, you know what I'm saying? We here at Radio Big will be watching her very closely, as we always have, and we always will. Our spotlight continues with Elise Riggs. Elise is an impressive package, I think, is the best way to describe it. Looks, attitude, style, and most of all, power. Elise has it all seamlessly working for her. Catch her winning action as the circuit continues. Time for our competitor spotlight on the beautiful and talented Elise Riggs. Cruising into a series of wins, Elise further supports her title as the reigning queen of SSX. Reports continue to come in of Elise nailing event after event after event. Get on up there, girl. Go on and watch a circuit legend in action. The competitor spotlight focuses on newcomer Griff Simmons. This is exactly what the SSX circuit needs right now. Young, crazy. This kid's a total joy to watch. He blows away the competition, and the hype is real, people. Griff is making a name for himself. He's establishing his rep as a champ in the making. Keep your eye on this kid. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. So, Griff Simmons. I caught the kid in action yesterday. Amazing. This kid is so hyped up on sugar and adrenaline, he couldn't stop vibrating. Watching him in the finish area, he was literally bouncing off his fellow competitors. You gotta check this kid out. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we have Griff Simmons. Again, Griff defies odds. He's just continuing this uncanny streak of success he's on. It's hard to believe he's barely 12. When I was his age, I just got the training wheels off my bike. Whatever this kid is eating, I want some. Our competitor spotlight targets returning superstar Kaori Nishidaki. Whatever it was that Kaori was doing in the off-season, it's working, baby. She's not just doing well this time around on the circuit, she is dominating. Head on up and catch the latest action. Time now for our competitor spotlight on Kaori Nishidaki. A big-time fan favorite, Kaori looks to be adding to her series of wins. Watching her this morning, I could tell she's got gold on the mind. Tight riding, big airs, smooth tricks. Just go on up there and see for yourself. Kaori Nishidaki's in our competitor spotlight. It's easy to find this returning SSX veteran in the finish area. Look for the crowd of media, the psycho fans, and, a couple shiny medals. Cowrie, looking as fashionable as ever, seems to be on a mission to win. So what's all the fuss about? Check her out. Here's the latest in our competitor spotlight. Mac Fraser seems to be having the time of his life up here. Mac is enjoying some serious wins on the circuit, spinning up a storm at Day Shack, and getting some wicked backcountry riding in between events. You can catch Mac doing his thing on any of the three peaks. Mac Fraser's in our competitor spotlight. I had a chance to catch Mac in a rare moment yesterday, actually, doing nothing. Kicking back. After a particularly sweet powder run, Mac was taking a break. And, when I asked what he had planned for the rest of the circuit, he smiled and said, "Gold, baby. Lots and lots of gold." Watch this guy closely. Let's check the competitor spotlight on Nate Logan. I managed to catch some race action the other day and watched as Nate pulled off some pretty amazing moves. Don't let his super size fool you. This guy can turn on a dime. He can snake line faster than anyone I've seen so far. Check out the goods. You know what I'm saying? The competitor spotlight moves to Simon Stark. Not only is Simon racking up wins and busting records for fun, he's making fellow competitors think twice about getting too close. He's all about the competition all the time. Dangerous. You'll see what I mean. This competitor spotlight features returning rider Simon Stark. Why does Simon stand out so much? Is it the tattoos? Maybe? The combat-inspired clothes? How about that hair? I like to think that it's his results, probably, Win after win after win after win, medal after medal. The man is unstoppable. See for yourself. Time now for our competitor spotlight. Creepy, freaky, wicked, cool. Watching Simon's like watching a natural disaster in the making. His riding is on a new level this time around. Catch the weirdness. Our competitor spotlight now turns to feature Viggo Rolig. Is this guy for real? Man, he's mobbed by the ladies in the finish line, man. Cameras flashing like mad. Neckload of medals to fly home with it. It ticked me off except for the fact, he's such a nice guy. Talented and cool. Rare combination. Check him out and see what I mean. Checking in with the competitor spotlight, we've got Viggo Rolig. Whatever's in the water over there, you can make a fortune bottling it and selling it to Viggo's competitors. The young Swede continues his reign of wildness on and off the slopes. Watch him once and you're hooked. The competitor spotlight's on Viggo Rolig. Talking with Viggo is one thing. He constantly cracks me up, but watching him ride, Viggo's somebody who's going into SSX history. There's no doubt about it. Just take a look for yourself. You'll see what all the fuss is about. Our competitor spotlight moves on to highlight Zoe Payne. What's the best way to describe Zoe? How about crazy, ultra-talented, and definitely smoking hot? And with the latest circuit results coming in, add consistent winner and all-round butt kicker. Join the army of Zoe fans and check her out. The competitor spotlight's on Zoe Payne. The way I see it, if you're going to win, you might as well look good doing it. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, no one is looking better than Zoe, okay? Her uber hotness moves ahead of the pack with an ever-growing collection of medals. See for yourself. The competitive spotlight turns to Zoe Payne. Gifted musician, legendary mountain bike rider, and according to the latest circuit standings, SSX leader to boot. Zoe's having a sweet year with her riding vastly improving from last year's circuit go-round. Check out Zoe's latest moves anywhere on the Three Peaks. Here's the latest in circuit news. Allegra Sauvagesse is doing particularly well these days. This being her first go-around with SSX, I think it's safe to say we'll be keeping a running tab on Allegra. To hear it all, stay right here on Radio Big. Checking in with circuit news, we have Kaori Nishidaki dominating with victories all over the mountain right now. As things continue to go from good to amazing for the talented import, Radio Big will be bringing you all the latest in Kaori's developments. Kaori Nishidaki has been making a big impact in the circuit lately. As more and more wins fall her way, Radio Big will be there to report on it all. Stay with us as we stay with Kaori. Here's the latest, y'all, in circuit news. Mac Fraser's doing pretty well these days, a returning SSX veteran who's kicking butt all he wants. I think it's safe to say that we'll be keeping a running tab on Fraser. To hear it all, stay right here on Radio Big. Checking in now with circuit news, we got Mac Fraser dominating with wins all over the mountain. As things continue to go from good to great for the Hucker extraordinaire, Radio Big will be bringing you the latest in Fraser's developments. Here's what's happening on the mountain right now. Seems lately Mac Fraser's been making a major impact on the circuit. As more and more wins come his way, Radio Big will be there to report on it all. Stay with us as we stay with Mac. Okay, y'all, here's the latest in circuit news. Moby Jones is doing pretty good these days. A returning SSX veteran who's kicking butt everywhere. I think it's safe to say we'll be keeping a running tab on Mr. Jones. To hear it all, stay right here on Radio Big. Checking in with circuit news, we have Allegra Sauvagesse cleaning up with wins all over the mountain. As things continue to go from good to astounding for the talented newcomer, Radio Big will be bringing you the latest in Allegra developments. Okay, here's what's happened on the mountain. Seems Vigo Rolig's been making a big impact in the circuit lately as more and more wins fall his way. Radio Big will be there to report on it all. Stay with us as we stay with Vigo. Here's the latest for y'all in circuit news. Zoe Payne's doing particularly well these days, a returning SSX veteran who's kicking mass butt. I think it's safe to say that we'll be keeping a little bit of a running tab on Miss Payne. To hear it all, stay right here on Radio Big. Time now for the latest in circuit news. Moby Jones continues to do what he does best. Leave everyone in his dust, baby. With wins all over the mountain, Radio Big will be keeping a close eye on Sir Moby. Don't even think about missing out this one. And now we got some SSX updates for those of you listening in. It's getting pretty hard to ignore Moby Jones. A modern-day legend, Moby's making sure no one is gonna ever forget his name. Stay with Radio Big as we follow his domination over the rest of the circuit. Here's the latest in circuit news. Elise Riggs is doing pretty well these days. A returning SSX veteran who's kicking mass butt. I think it's safe to say we'll be keeping a running tab on Miss Riggs. To hear it all, stay tuned right here to Radio Big. Time now for the latest in circuit news. Zoe Payne is pretty much continuing to do what she does best. Kick everyone's butt, man. With wins all over the mountain, Radio Big will be keeping a close eye on Zoe. Do yourself a favor, stick around. Here's some SSX updates for those of you listening. It's getting a little tough to ignore Zoe Payne. As a boarding powerhouse, Zoe is making sure nobody's gonna forget her name. Stay with Radio Big as we follow her domination over the rest of the circuit. Here's the latest circuit updates. Allegra, the girl's got a pretty stellar future ahead of her, I'm telling you. Seems there's nothing and absolutely no one getting in her way. Keep at it, Allegra. Man, you got our attention. We're back with the latest in circuit news. I gotta tell you, I am digging young Allegra's riding these days. This is a level of riding I haven't seen in a long time. Big things are coming Allegra's way, I pretty much guarantee you that. Here's the latest in circuit news. If you're looking for a sure win to bet on, anybody? A good move would be to drop it all on Allegra, I'm telling you. I'm seeing nothing but gold ahead of her. Atta go, Allegra, you just keep doing what you're doing, baby. Here's the latest circuit update. Elise? The girl's got a solid gold career ahead of her, I'm telling you. Seems there's nothing and definitely no one getting in her way. Keep at it, Elise. You are owning this mountain, girl. Checking in with some circuit news, we got Elise Riggs dominating. She's got wins all over the mountain. As things continue to go from good to better for the talented Canadian, Radio Big will be bringing you all the latest in Elise developments. Here's the latest in circuit news. If you were looking for a sure bet, a good move would be put it all on Mac. I am seeing nothing but winning in his future. You know, it's all good, Mac. You just keep doing what you've been doing, man. Here's the latest circuit update. Mac, the man, has serious talent. Seems there's nothing and definitely no one getting in his way. Keep at it, Mac. You got a lot more wins coming your way. We're back with the latest in circuit news. I gotta tell y'all, have you seen Mac's riding? Have you seen it? This is at a level that few have seen in a long time. Big things coming Mac's way, I guarantee it. Now here's the latest in circuit news. If you were looking for a sure thing, a good move, bet it all on Nate. I'm seeing nothing but success in this big dude's future. You got it going on, Nate. You just keep doing what you've been doing. Here's the latest circuit update. Simon, the man has got a lot of wins ahead of him, okay? Seems there's nothing and definitely nobody getting in his way. Keep at it, Simon. You're owning this show. We're back with the latest in circuit news. I'm telling you, I dig watching Simon ride these days, man. His riding is at a level I have not seen in a long time. Big things coming Stark's way, I'm guaranteeing it. Here's the latest in circuit news. You looking for an absolute sure thing? A good move would be throw it all on Simon. I'm seeing nothing but wins and continued domination in his future. Simon, you just keep doing what you've been doing, buddy. Here's the latest circuit update. Vigo, this boy's got a solid gold career ahead of him, man. Seems there is nothing and definitely no one getting in his way. You ever heard him talk? Endless. We're back with the latest in circuit news. I'm telling you, man, I am loving Vigo's riding these days, man. This boarding is at a level I have not seen in a long time. Big things are coming Vigo's way. Here's the latest in circuit news. If you're looking for a sure bet, good move, throw it all on Vigo. I'm seeing nothing but gold in this future, man. You know you got it, Vigo. You just keep doing what you've been doing. Yeah. Here's the latest circuit update. Zoe. The girl's got a fantastic future in boarding in front of her. Seems there's nothing, definitely no one getting in her way. You just keep at it, Zoe. You are owning this mountain. We're back with the latest in circuit news. I gotta tell you, I'm loving Zoe's riding these days. Her riding is at a level I have not seen in a long time. Big things are coming Zoe's way. I'm guaranteeing it. There's the latest in circuit news. Anybody out there looking for a sure bet? A good move? Throw it all on Zoe, man. I'm seeing nothing but gold in her future. You know you got it, Zoe. You just keep doing what you've been doing. You know, there are so many ways to ride and play around through this SSX circuit. Event organizers just sent out a text message giving the lowdown on how to advance up the mountain. Do yourself a favor and check it out. All you riders out there, just a friendly reminder for those of you listening on an MCOM, don't forget to check your text messages. All riders, there's some serious info you're going to need text message-wise on your MCOM. Don't forget to check them out. Here's a message to all competitors. When you get a chance, check out the 411 on what's going on around Big Mountain. Access messages on your MCOM. This is a message for all competitors. For the latest and greatest in text messages, keep checking your MCOM. For everything else, keep listening to me. Here's a message for all competitors. Radio Big wants everyone to remember two things. Your board won't wax itself, and your MCOM can't read your messages for you. All competitors, couple of reminders from the fine folks here at Radio Big. Frostbite is far from cool. Snowboard boots occasionally do need a day off, and MCOM messages do need to be checked regularly. Little reminder to all the SSX competitors out there, our databases are getting a little full. Don't forget to check your MCOM messages.